Our camper is about to get a whole lot smaller.
We are about to get my mother-in-law at the airport, and then we're gonna have her with us for a week and a half, so we're gonna be exploring around Oregon and Washington. Howdy!
I guess you're allowed to stop.
Yeah. Stopped for dinner at a restaurant called The Deck near our campground.
Harper's going to town on her bone down there. Where we had dinner, down on the water. Harper, oh boy.
Yes. Miss Allie. Huh? This?
Ooh.
Look at this one.
Oh boy, Harper.
Boy, Harper.
We are packing up to leave Portland, and our first stop with my mom is going to be on the coast. Harper Jill, who's got you? Arrived to a nice rainy afternoon in Cannon Beach. Our campsite was a little tight, but on the plus side, we don't have to walk far to get to the bathroom. Site is only 20 amps, even though that was not disclosed to us when booking, but they gave us a little adapter, so we'll see if that works. Is that even gonna stay in there like that?
Not loving that.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna fall out. Huh. Well, then I guess. Well, the AC turned on, so hopefully we are in the clear. Harper, you like your new home? We are spending the afternoon in Astoria, and our first stop is the Lewis and Clark National Historic Park. This is actually where Lewis and Clark met the Pacific Ocean on their expeditions. Now to check out downtown Astoria.
And then we made our way to the Astoria Column.
The column tells Oregon's history through a series of pictures, and you can even climb up inside.
After climbing all those steps, we worked up our appetite and were ready for dinner, so we headed back down to Seaside on the way to Cannon Beach to get some food. The restaurant for dinner was an old movie theater.
This morning we are in Rockaway Beach, and we are about to ride the Scenic Oregon Coast Railroad. We rode the Scenic Railroad down to the very cute town of Garibaldi where we had lunch. We were expecting to have our train pulled by this historic car behind me, but it appears they are doing work on it, so we got traded out, but it was still a really nice ride. And we explored the towns of Rockaway Beach and Manzanita on our way back to Cannon Beach. Now we are taking my mom to one of my favorite places on the Oregon coast, Ecola State Park, that has gorgeous overlooking views of the coast. We are ending our night with a nice walk on the beach in Cannon Beach after dinner. The sun is beautiful and there's lots of people out enjoying. Carson's walking the beach with his dinner leftovers. Carson decided to turn back, but we kept walking down the beach and made it all the way to Haystack Rock. We are glad we did because we saw a really pretty sunset and lots of cool starfish and other things in the tidal pools. Very pretty. We spent the morning exploring downtown Cannon Beach, and now we are packing up the camper to hit the road and keep going a little further down the coast. And now we have a dog babysitter for when we're packing up. Our first stop en route is to the Tillamook Cheese Factory. A very cool tour. You can look over top of the production facilities and you get some tasters. It was very busy, but still really fun to see. Hi, Jill. We brought you some cheese.
Hi, Princess. Hi.
Made it to our next stop, Pacific City. We had plans to do some other sightseeing, but the beach was just too enticing. We walked over from the campground and spent the afternoon relaxing. Hi, Kitty Pie. This water is cold, 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 but there are actually quite a few people trying to surf out here. We only had one short day in Pacific City, but we really enjoyed it. This is definitely a part of the coast that we are going to come back to. Now we are packing up and heading inland. We are leaving the Oregon coast today and heading further inland. We're going to spend the next couple of days exploring the Columbia River Gorge area. So excited to see some pretty waterfalls and cool sights that's different from the coast. Harper, what do you think of your new home? We went to one of our favorite cider places, the Gorge White House in Hood River area, but we were so excited for the cider we didn't get any pictures, but enjoy some of the beautiful flowers on the property. Then for dinner in downtown Hood River.
Today we are out to explore the Columbia River Gorge area, and we're going to see some awesome sights, maybe Herman the sturgeon and some waterfalls in the river, so we're excited to be out looking around today.
Our first stop was the town of Carson, because how could we not stop when we're traveling with a Carson? But there's not a whole lot going on in this little bitty town. We are back in Hood River for lunch and trying out some barbecue that some friends of ours recommended. Being from the south, we rarely find good barbecue out on the road, so we'll see how it lives up. Hood River is an excellent place for kite surfing and windsurfing, and today is a super windy day, so there are tons of people out. We're gonna go to the water and watch them.
This guy's about to hit some awesome air. Wish I could do that.
There are so many people out, and it is super windy, but it's so cool to watch. Now we are at the Bonneville Fish Hatchery to see the giant Herman the sturgeon, who is 11 feet long and up to 500 pounds. You can see Herman and his friends from above, or you can go in the little sturgeon viewing room and just get nose to nose with them. The grounds here are also super nice, very well manicured and lots of pretty flowers. That was definitely a cool, quick stop, and it was free, and our dog Harper could come.
Hey Carson, I'm ready to learn.
This is a little cap screwed into that for keeping the water in the hose. And put that bag on that end. So this is already attached where you don't have to undo anything.
Get that bag so it fits into the bag and not. So what's in the black holding tank?
Poop and pee and all crazy.
What's in the gray water holding tank? Just from the sink in the shower?
Yeah.
Screw in here.
This just sits in there. We do have some to screw in, but most of them
Does
just
it
sit
ever
in.
fly out?
So this is just to open it. This is the black, which is the solid.
The dirty, gross stuff.
We don't do this every time because this is only when we dump the black tank. But
So
the
this
black,
is to add more water.
well, this is to flush it, so
Oh.
it jets water in like it rains down from the top, and then that.
So this
fills
flushes it out then.
Yeah, because if you don't, then it'll have toilet paper and other stuff that don't always, like all the water drains out, and then the solids like just sit on the bottom. The great tank, which is the shower tank here. That's about to be a lot. Great tank, and it will clean out the hose with cleaner water.
Right.
So then when you put it away, which I hose it out anyway after every time, but that way you don't have any black tank remnants in there. But we'll flush this. I closed the black tank so it can't come out anymore. And then I closed the secondary valve there. So now I'm gonna unhook this and hook it onto this gray tank. And then I'm gonna open the first valve there, and the main part of it right here. Open that, and then that one usually comes out pretty fast.
And then the last step, and the part that I do, is treatment. Put in the toilet. Put some water in the bowl. And we have these little handy single serve pouches. And flush it down. We put water in the tank already when we were outside, but if we didn't have it hooked up to the black tank flush, we would have flushed the toilet for 30 seconds to a minute to get water in there. All done. We are leaving the Columbia River Gorge area this morning, but not without first stopping to get a famous giant soft serve ice cream cone. Now that we all have an ice cream tummy ache, it is time to pack up and hit the road. Made it to our site outside Rainier. Thankfully, we don't need the solar because we would not be getting any here. It is sunny down here, but unfortunately not at the mountain. We were looking at webcams and everything is pretty clouded over. So we decided just to hang out in Packwood this afternoon and explore the cute little town before dinner and just take it easy. this man just picked the Muppets version of Bohemian Rhapsody on the jukebox. And now we have Hilary Duff. I think we gave him too much power. He has been over there for a solid 10 minutes.
This morning we are up to explore Mount Rainier area with our mother-in-law Katherine, and it is very hazy and smoky today. So just looking around, you can hardly see the mountain because of all the haze, but it's still pretty. You can see the outline at least.
Quick stop at Christine Falls, just a short walk down off the road.
You're doing the short hike down to the Waterfalls in Mount Rainier Park. This is a only 0.4 round trip mile hike, so it's not too long. It is kind of steep, but the reward for the view is worth it in my opinion.
We are now heading out on the Bench and Snow Lakes Trail. It's a little over 2 miles, and you see 2 really pretty glacial lakes. Made it to Bench Lake. Carson said it's more of a mud pit, but there is water in there. And you get some peekaboo views of Rainier, even in the smoke. At this point, we definitely think the left option is the more scenic. Okay, actually, this is Bench Lake. We're not gonna go all the way down to it since Snow Lake is prettier, but bigger than we thought. Took us about 2 hours to complete the hike. It was a nice hike. There were definitely some steeper parts and quite a few steps, but not too bad, and pretty view at the end. Also some roots and rocks and other things like that to navigate around.
After we finished up our hike, we headed down to Rainier Base Camp and Grill in Ashford for some dinner.
It is our last morning in the Rainier area, so we are getting packed up, and next stop we are heading back to Olympic National Park. This is definitely not the nicest campground we've stayed at, but the options around Mount Rainier were surprisingly very limited. Last time we were here, we boondocked, which worked well, but with my mom, we like to stay in full hookup sites and ideally ones with showers too. So this was our option, but it was relatively convenient and there were some good food options nearby, so it worked out fine. We've been meaning to get some cherries ever since we've been in this area, and we finally got some today. Very tasty. I feel like we got the coveted corner office at work because of the way this loop is curved. We have a huge corner site. Our first hike in Olympic National Park is Marymere Falls. It is about 1.5 miles round trip and easy. There are some stairs at the end, but otherwise it's relatively flat and well maintained. There are 2 viewing platforms at the falls, a lower one and an upper one to give you a good view. Now for a nice charcuterie dinner with a view at Lake Crescent with some of the cheese that we got from Tillamook the other day. This morning we are starting out with the Peabody Creek Loop Trail, which is about half a mile and easy, just right off of the visitor center, and it is one of the only trails that you can take a dog on. So we are setting out with Harper and looking at some beautiful greenery and nice creek. Now we are heading to the other side of Olympic, and we are going to spend some time in Forks and explore the Twilight movie areas and the cute town of Forks. You can visit the free Forever Twilight and Forks collection, which has real props and costumes from the movies that were donated after an auction. I was a big Twilight fan when it came out in middle school, and my mom got to live those years with me, so this was fun to experience together. While the movies were not actually filmed in Forks, there are lots of fun nods to the books and movies all around town, like the Swan House that was modeled after the house in the book, and a reserved parking place for Dr. Cullen at the hospital. There is even a little shrine to Charlie in the real-life police station. We are now back in Port Angeles and walking around downtown a little bit and to a few of the shops.
Harper, gonna get a bath today. Are you excited?
So good dog.
Beautiful girl. Look at that princess.
We are getting packed up this morning to move again. We are moving to our last campground with my mom before she flies home. We are leaving the Olympic area and heading to Gig Harbor, and we're going to spend some time around there and around Seattle and enjoy our last few days together. We don't have too far to go today, and we have a little bit of time before we can check into our next campground. So we stopped in Port Townsend to explore the waterfront area and the cute little downtown and shops. We are in stopped traffic, so Carson is flying the drone to see if we can tell what the holdup is.
I was flying and now it says it's disconnected, like it stopped.
Got too far away.
So it's too far, yeah. Hopefully it doesn't get lost or mess up.
Couldn't see anything except an awful lot of cars backed up, but we did get the drone back, but we couldn't tell what the holdup was. The only holdup we can see is just a backed up roundabout, so maybe we missed whatever happened, but it took us a long time to get here. I think we are out of it now, but it's absolutely insane backed up going towards it too. Like 4 directions of backed up traffic trying to get in the same roundabout. We have passed probably at least 5 miles of backed up traffic on the other direction. Just insane. Yay, more traffic. Finally made it to our campground in Gig Harbor, but thanks to the traffic, we don't have time to do any of the things we planned, so we're just gonna hang out this afternoon. Today we are headed out to do some exploring. We are first driving to Bainbridge Island, and then we are going to take the ferry across to Seattle and see some stuff over there. And we are going to pass through the cute Scandinavian town of Poulsbo en route before we get to Bainbridge Island, and then eat some lunch and walk around the shops and the waterfront. We are now exploring the Bainbridge Island Japanese American Exclusion Memorial. It memorializes the first place that Japanese Americans were forcibly removed from their homes following Pearl Harbor and put into concentration camps. This is a really dark history of our country that we really didn't know much about. We did not learn anything about this in school, but last year when we were in Idaho, we stumbled upon the Minidoka National Monument site and learned about the camps there. That was the site of one of the largest concentration camps where the Japanese Americans were taken, and this where we are now is a satellite location of that national park site. But we learned a lot at that visitor center that we had no idea about. So interesting, but really sad and dark history. More than 120,000 Japanese Americans, over 2/3 of them US citizens, were interned for over 3 years in various concentration camps around the country. And for no reason other than racism and hatred because of Japanese ancestry following Pearl Harbor. There is construction going on right now, so not everything in the site is accessible, but they are building what looks like it's going to be a really nice visitor center. So come back in a year or so and it looks like it's going to be really well done. Now to get on the ferry and head towards Seattle. We were so excited for our food that we forgot to take a picture of it, but we had a really nice dinner in downtown Seattle, and now we are headed back to the camper. Well, just like that, our time with my mom has come to an end, and we are driving her back to the airport. Tell us, how did you enjoy your luxury accommodations on our dining room table?
I really did enjoy my luxury accommodations. It was nice sitting around the campfire too, and had some great food, both in restaurants and also there at the camper. So it was a great trip.
Yes, we had a fun time. Everything went well. We saw a lot of fun stuff. Hoping she has a good flight back to South Carolina, and that wraps up this week and a half in Washington and Oregon.